The Philippines oligarchs, the Marcoses and oligarchs by Michael Jackson. Next. The Philippines corruption is deeply rooted in the governing colonialism and its relationship with the US. Um, the country's politics and economy are dominated by around only 80 families. Over 84 million people live on the more than 7,000 islands of Philippine Archipelago. Some have mobilization dynasties and others through family or industry. And these oligarchs have often drawn their stake into fiefdoms, used corrupt influence to keep the state out of their business dealings or spoil competition. The Marcos era, particularly the martial law period of September 1972 to 1986, complicated the situation with favored families prospering while others lost their property and privileges. And that time, anti-corruption activities have since proliferated, but still the oligarch and dynasty groups remain very much alive. And indeed, some prominent families have done better than ever in recent years. The Philippines oligarchs are more numerous and derived from outside the state, exploiting the state more effectively than the state exploits them. Meaning, they exploit weak institutions, making presidents useful friends, as they can directly corrupt bills and property rights and big institutions. And makatapos niyan, Marcos himself and his wife ended up as actual or de facto owner of such firms. However, violence is also part of the story, particularly in the remote areas or in the rural areas where they dun sila dun nila yung sinundan ng mga tao, kaya nakakaw sila ng mga properties. Then, Philippines has a smaller United States, more secure property rights, and many benefits sought by oligarchs come from the outside sources, such as the United States, international aid agencies, or the investors. Okay. The oligarchs and plans corruption. The oligarchs and plans corruption in the Philippines has significantly impacted democratic movements, civil society, and credible elections. The democratic alternatives lack relevance in remote areas, and political parties often consist of personal candidates rather than the social groups. And on the economic side, oligarchic privilege leads to a fragmented and predictable and closed economy. The donors as international aid, the United States has been extensive, but it often reaches the only but it often reaches presidential parties. The Philippines has a history of oligarchic domination, with the authorities often relying on Catholic Church personnel in remote areas due to a lack of resources. Then with Galileo, the rise of oligarchs was not solely due to land holding, but also to both buying, fraud, and violence. And after that, the Philippine Commonwealth fell under oligarchic domination, and the United States remained as a central source of aid, investment, and political capital. Then, come local elections in noong 1901, they allowed Catholics to control administrative posts, followed by elected national legislative bodies in 1807 and 1916. This led to the oligarchs central syndrome, where they established political beachheads to influence fashion guidelines. Then, moving on, Ferdinand Marcos is the dominated figure in the Philippine corruption. He was born into a powerful family in the Ilocos region of Luzon. Then, in 1935, an Ilocos politician, Julio Merondasan, who had defeated the Albert Marcos in congressional election was murdered. Marcos was charged and convicted in Joseph criminal trial. Then his next moves was on the year of his successful race for Congress in 1949, featured the Christmas period so one had to reset. He became president of the Republic in 1965 until the People Power Revolution of 1986. And as a president, Marcos enjoyed extensive U.S. backing, particularly from his active support of the Vietnam War. Then, after that, in 1972, Marcos declared martial law, abolishing the legislative and political parties in favor of his own Quezon Bagong Republic. And Marcos made administrative changes during martial law, aided and protect his own election. Next is the capitalism. After independence in 1946, local election brought back were necessary by violence and self-enrichment by presidential policies were common. And the oligarchs in the Philippines consolidated their local benefits and administrative networks, relying heavily on American capital and Eurasian welfare. Then martial law allowed Marcos to enrich himself and his cronies, such as imposing a special tax on coconuts and copra, creating a sugar exporting monopoly, and reorganizing Robert Benedictus PM into a possibly regulatory body. Then Imelda Marcos also held a business empire, channeling foreign aid, bribe income, and funds from organized crime into bank accounts and asset funds. Also during her reign, an estimated $5 billion disappeared from the national treasury. And Hilda was convicted of the risky $680 million in 1993 corruption trial but was not in prison. She was facing additional charges of corruption and currency smuggling, but trial days were repeatedly postponed. Next is the Marcos arrived in the Philippines ended abruptly in 1986 with Rason that he winning a presidential election despite evidence of fraud. The regime was eventually dismantled, and the military returned to the barracks. However, it was weak and unstable, facing 9 military coup attempts in its first 4 years. The new era was as much a restoration of oligarch power and corruption as a democratic revolution. And Marcos may have rearranged the oligarch economic system in favor of selective cronies, but he had a little change from the Next is the General Federal will succeed Aquino in 1992, but his government had several anti-corruption reforms with increasing backing from international agencies and domestic business organizations. However, the evidence of the progress was scattered. Then, in 1998, Joseph Arab Estrada was succeeded by Fidel Ramos, who was surrounded by scandals and was eventually replaced by Gloria Arroyo. But before that, Estrada and his wife conceived business holdings worth over $600 million, along with directorships of a variety of businesses. And then Estrada refused to accept the handover and was placed under virtual house arrest at the country. And he has since been charged with major offenses. Next. The Philippine corruption has caused significant damage, with daily losses estimated at around 100 million Philippine pesos and around 3.8% of GDP are across domestic product. These losses perpetuate the weak and ineffective state and inhibit the rise of oligarchs and reflect massive transfers of wealth into the hands of key families. The Philippines oligarchs and clans marked by similar organization of power and the tendency among personalized followings with formal moves to liberal lives like economy, likely counting 800 6 times their members. Thank you.